Today, I'm gonna be going over everything you need to know before buying pre-construction property in Fort Lauderdale, from the benefits to the risk to the best projects launching right now. Are you thinking about buying a new development condo or home in Fort Lauderdale? This city is booming with luxury towers, waterfront residences, and smart new builds. And today we're breaking down exactly what to expect when buying pre-construction. Pre-construction, you're definitely buying today's value for tomorrow's luxury. So today you're paying a certain price that's gonna appreciate by the time it's done. Usually a building takes a minimum of 2 years, maybe 4 years, according to the size, to be fully done. But not only that, you have a lot of advantages with the technology that comes up. So we just had a lot of problems with the older buildings here in South Florida that started collapsing in Surfside. So that was due because the rebar was corroded from the salt. The salt came from the concrete that they used, that they had sand in it. The sand had water and salt in it that started corroding the rebar, and therefore the columns started becoming weak and buildings started falling apart. This is a huge problem that wasn't known about until nowadays. So the technology that architects and builders are coming up with are completely different and are proof to all these. And these are pretty much bunkers that are being sky-high bunkers that we're building, because the new concrete structures are completely sealed, and nothing, and the category winds that are getting against it are immaculate. Like, you're too big. And you're also buying the unit that you want in the building. A lot of the times it's what's on the market, you get the unit that's there, and then you just have to buy it. Here, you get to actually choose what floor you want to be, what view you want to view, what location you want to look into. So that's very important. And then in pre-construction, you could choose a lot of changes in the floor plan. So if you want to move a wall, if you want to add a closet, if you want to take a closet away, you still have time to do that. You could work with the architect and the developer to get this done, to make this a custom home for you, which is very important. Then in the building, you also get to have the perks of choosing your own parking spots, choosing your own storage units, different floor plans in the garage. You don't want to go 4 flights in the garage and have to park all the way over there. If you're the first one buying, you could choose the first spot off the up ramp, and then that's an advantage of buying pre-construction. Same thing with your storage unit. You can get it close to your parking spot so that you have a little bit of ways to store things. I would say primarily the timing. So, we tell you that it's going to be done in 2 years, but let's say there's a hurricane that comes into town, or there's a huge storm that ruins the construction site, and we have to stop building for 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, or the supply chain. There's a piece of the building that we can't get until 6 months from now, and it's essential. We have another delay. Those are items that are, out of our control, but it is a risk that the buyer has to take, because if they were planning to move in next year, now it extended 6 months, you have to find a place to live for the next 6 months. So that's one risk that you have to be calculating. And then also your market. If the market in that area is not strong enough to support what you're paying, and then all of a sudden when you close on the property, the value of that area has gone down, then you're overpaying for that unit, and then at that point you're not doing a good investment. So it's essential to have a good agent or a good attorney with you when you're doing these type of transactions. Everything's negotiable. You come into these sales gallery, they're very fancy, they're very well done, and you're speaking to well-rounded individuals, and you might think that it's going to be hard to negotiate, that you can't negotiate. But pre-construction is the time you want to negotiate. This is the first time the developer is getting the project out to public, so they have a lot of flexibility. And that's why it's important to get in early, once the building gets off the ground. So after ground break, it is a little harder to negotiate anything. But prior to that, there's a lot of price negotiations. There's a lot of incentives. So a lot of developers end up doing, for example, a year of HOA fees or condo fees paid by the developer, incentives and upgrades. So if you want a better type of finish for your countertops, if you want a better kitchen, that's something that you could kind of negotiate into your deal. And there's also a developer's fee. Those developer's fees are usually like 1.75% of the purchase price, which could be negotiated if you have a savvy enough agent with you. Right now, Fort Lauderdale has a lot of great projects, and the interesting thing is that they're all different in their own singular way. I think I want to start from the biggest projects to other projects. So what we know coming up is going to be the St. Regis Residences here on the beach. It's going to be 3 towers, 1 hotel tower, and a regular residential tower, and 2 residential towers with great amenities on the ocean. That's one big project that's coming up. And it's very luxurious. Right up to par is going to be Sage Intracoastal Residences. We're also on the Intercoastal Waterway. We both have dock spaces, and we have great amenities, world-class amenities with spas, gyms, concierge services. And then you have a project that is built by a great developer, and it's teamed forces with an interior designer that is putting top level finishes on your units, which is great for what the finished project you want to have. In addition to that, in the downtown area, there's another project that's called Andare. Very similar. They have great interior finishes, great amenities, incredible walkability within the downtown area if you want that hustle and bustle, or if you want to just walk to your office. That is a great location to be within. And then there's other projects that are single family gated communities that are coming up in the south side of Fort Lauderdale. Marina Landings, they have beautiful 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, single family townhomes that are being built. There's also an option if you don't want to go into condo living. We do have other single family options. Other than your regular research online of what projects are out there, you definitely want to connect with an agent, a realtor that is a new development expert or has done this a long time, because a lot of new agents don't really have that handle on the transaction, how it could work and what incentives you could actually get from these developers. So it's important to have somebody that knows what they're doing, and then somebody that knows all the projects. All of these projects launch in steps. There's always a whisper campaign, then there's a friends and family step, and then there is your second release pricing, and then there is your top off pricing. So within that whisper campaign, if you're looking at this project and there's a whisper campaign for another project that your agent doesn't know about, you're gonna be missing out on that project. You just bought in this project, but then this one's gonna be better, which is what you actually wanted. So it's essential to be connected with that great agent that knows all the projects that are coming up, even in the future, so that you could get that idea of what is going on and buy the one that works for you. And since you made it to the end of the video, if you're looking to buy new development, pre-construction in the South Florida area, feel free to reach out. I would love to help you out. I know all the whisper campaigns and all the projects going on in the area. I'll see you in the next video.